thanked Tedford for its interventions in the state, stating that most of the infrastructure in its federal and state tertiary institutions were provided by the agency. The Executive Secretary of Tedford, Sonny Echono, however, lauded the state's government effort to invest in the education while pledging the firm support for the newly established College of Education and effort to train technical manpower.
Being College of Education Technical, that we want to really train the human capital that we need, not just certificates. We want to have technicians, some labor that is required in the field, in the agricultural field. We want people that will be teaching our farmers what to do in terms of what to do during farming season and so on and so forth. And so we need your support because we did not know about the establishment of this new technical institution
that now responds to the changing needs of the education sector to produce people with relevant skills, not just knowledge, and that they can have hands-on. I'm glad that you did talk a lot about the fact that you are moving toward technical vocational education, which is directly in line with the overall objectives of our president and our education roadmap. So focusing on skills, supporting the very manpower base that we require to grow this economy, to activate all our unexplored in our economy, particularly agriculture. We are very concerned that a country like the US, only 5% of their population are engaged in agriculture, yet they are able to feed not only themselves, but export to the whole world. So we know we don't need 60% of our population engaged in agriculture. We can release that number, those numbers, if we can mechanize our agriculture, if we can use things like irrigation, tractors, threshers, planters, and so on, if we can improve our agronomic practices, just as we are trying to do with extension workers.
To security matters, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, said the military has every reason to ensure a secure country under the current dispensation. In a statement on Sunday by the Service Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Vice Marshal Edward Gapwet, Abubakar urged the troops to sustain the onslaught against criminal elements in the country to enjoy the support of the citizens. Abubakar noted that President Bola Tinubu had provided the military with the needed equipment and resources to deliver on its constitutional mandate. The Air Chief also called on all Nigerians to continue to support the military and pray for fallen heroes. Abubakar noted that while the entire nation can never repay the fallen heroes, efforts at restoring peace and tranquility in all parts of the country must be sustained to return the country to its peaceful past, which was made possible by the dedication and commitment of the fallen heroes. Advising troops, Abubakar stated that there was no better way to pay tribute to the fallen heroes except to sustain the joint air, ground, and maritime strikes against terrorists, insurgents, economic saboteurs, and all the non-state actors in the country. Still on security matters, allowing the abduction of 6 young girls in the Buhari area council of the Federal Capital Territory last week, the police at Force Headquarters says it has initiated a comprehensive plan of action towards checkmating bandit attacks and rescuing the 6 girls. A statement by Force Public Relations Officer ACP Muyiwa Adejobi said the Force Headquarters was diligently coordinating efforts to address and prevent any further occurrences. All hands are on deck to rescue the victims. The 6 sisters and their fathers were reportedly kidnapped on Friday night, January 2024, with their father later released to go and bring the sum of 60 million naira ransom for their release. One of the 6 daughters has reportedly been killed by the bandits who dumped her body for the parents of the girl. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project SERAP has asked the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas to promptly reduce the National Assembly budget of 344.85 billion naira to reflect the current economic realities in the country and cut the cost of governance. SERAP urged them to request President Bola Tinubu to present a fresh supplementary appropriation bill which reflects the reduced National Assembly budget for the approval of the National Assembly. Serap also urged them to promptly publish details of the National Assembly budget of 344.85 billion naira, including the proposed spending details of the 3 billion naira for the Senate car park and 3 billion naira budgeted for the House of Representatives car park. In the letter signed by Serap Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare, the organization said passing appropriation bills that are inconsistent with the provisions of the Nigerian Constitution is a fundamental breach of the constitutional oath of office by the lawmakers. Serap said the arbitrary increase by the lawmakers of their own budgetary allocation, if not caught, will have significant fiscal consequences and exacerbate the country's debt crisis. According to Serap, the unilateral and self-serving increase by the lawmakers of their own allocation also offend the principles of separations of powers and checks and balances and the notion of the rule of law. Operations of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have intercepted a substantial consignment of Canadian loud in Lagos alongside opioids bound for the United Kingdom and Italy. This was made known in a statement signed by the Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, and shared on the agency's website on Sunday. The operations included seizing 300,000 tramadol pills from Pakistan and dismantling a school cheese factory in Ibadan. Notable arrests occurred at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, uncovering codeine-based syrup and rofinol in a Milan-bound suspect luggage. Further interception revealed hidden tramadol and cannabis shipment destined for Oman and the United Kingdom. Operation also extended to Oyo, Ondo, Edo, Kogi, Katsina, and Gombe State, resulting in numerous arrests and drug confiscations. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on Sunday said the state government will continue to give top priority to the welfare of ex-servicemen as well as their families, particularly the orphans of fallen gallant men and women. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who was represented by his Deputy Chief of Staff, Segun Soyowo, spoke at the Thanksgiving service to commemorate this year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day held at the Chapel of Christ the Light, Alausa, said his administration